action. Oh, beautiful right uppercut. Starting to exchange center.
Talk Nation. Why does everybody seem to think that Terence Crawford versus Shawn Porter is not going to be super explosive, fantastic, legendary, history-making, legacy-defining fight? Come on, man. Terence Bud Crawford is 37-0, undefeated, 28 knockouts. You know what I mean? Super explosive, switch hitter, deadly southpaw, or fighting out of the orthodox stance. Most importantly, man, Bud is a dog. Once Bud Fit says, you know what, let's get in the trenches, Bud is standing there and mix it up and bang it out with you. Now, Shawn Porter, he likes that. Shawn Porter's aggressive, rugged, all-angle type of style, you know what I mean? He will love for Terence Crawford to stand right in front of him. But at the same time, I believe Bud is going to be strategic if he stands in front of Shawn Porter. I don't believe he's going to stand in front of Shawn Porter and just try to pull a Canelo, you know what I mean? Slip punch. Nah. This ain't going to be a preview of The Matrix Reloaded. I think Bud is going to be strategic. Bud is going to keep Shawn Porter turning, and while he's turning him and moving him, he's just going to be catching him. Bop, 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 counter. You know what I mean? But Shawn Porter is a good boxer. Not as great as Bud. His movement, his aggressive style. Like I said, Shawn Porter got his own style. He ain't got his own podcast. Shout out to the Porterweight podcast. Shawn Porter's style is tricky and risky for anybody. And that's what makes this fight so good. Shawn Porter, former WBC champion. Terence Bud Crawford, former undisputed 40-pound champion, current WBO champion. Look, Spence, Crawford, despite whatever these two guys say, I will say this. Bud wants that fight. I truly believe that. Just like Benavidez wants to fight with Canelo, that's the fight that he wants because he believes that fight will be not only legacy defining, but as I said, that fight will be history, man. I really believe that fight is going to be legendary. It's the same thing with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence because they quote these guys as being the top, not only the top of the division, but possibly some of the best in boxing. Right now, pound for pound, people cover Canelo Alvarez. How can you not? Recently, undisputed champion got the IBF title from Caleb Plant, which was a great fight. Caleb Plant showed great heart, but unfortunately, if you don't have the power, you will have problems stepping in there with Canelo. Just like Gabe Rosado when he fought Hamza Munguia this past weekend. Shout out to Gabe Rosado. Shout out to Philly. But some of these guys, man, you have to have power. You can have all the heart, all the skill in the world, but if you can't punch with these guys, you're not going to be able to beat them. And that's just how it was. Coming to this fight, Shawn Porter, can he punch with Terence Bud Crawford? Because Terence Bud Crawford has power. He has range. He has great combinations. And for Terence Bud Crawford to have 74 inch reach, Terence Crawford has the ability, man, you know what I'm saying, like to put nice angle and loop on his punches, especially on the inside for him being the longer, rangier fighter. That comes with practice, comes with time. This is an early age. Has had the time and with his experience as a professional fighter to craft his style. And that style compared to Shawn Porter's style, between the two stylistically, you will say Shawn Porter is not only going to give him problems, you know what I mean, but you could say Shawn Porter could go in there and upset Terence Bud Crawford. Will that happen? I don't think that it will, but this is boxing. Strange things happen, but I don't think that Bud Crawford is going to allow himself to go into this fight and get upset by Shawn Porter. He knows what Shawn Porter does. And at the same time, I don't believe that Terence Bud Crawford is arrogant enough to say, you know what, it doesn't matter what Shawn Porter does, I'm going to defeat him. Although Terence Bud Crawford said he's going to go in and get the victory, but it's different when you say you want to go in and get the victory and you just pretty much just say your opponent, you know what I'm saying, like you're going to do this, you're going to do that, they ain't got a chance. No, he gave Shawn Porter much props. You know what I mean? He said he's a good boxer. You know what I mean? He's a great mover. He has that nice aggressive style. But just like when Jeff Horn had the same thing, he had that aggressive style, try to go in there, and what did Bud wind up doing? He wound up going in there and out-muscling the guy. You know what I mean? And Jeff Horn, he was fighting dirty, man, when he fought Pacquiao, but that's a different story. Now, Shawn Porter is not known for being a dirty fighter, but he is known for being right up in your face, very rugged, very active, very busy. Now, Bud, great boxer. The simple fact that Terence Bud Crawford is a phenomenal boxer, that kind of negates a lot of the good things that Shawn Porter does, his movement, his sporadic style. Because if you're a great boxer, you know how to utilize your range. And what's one of the most effective weapons in utilizing your range? Your jab. Terence Bud Crawford not only has a good jab, but Terence Bud Crawford's follow-up off the throwing the jab and the 1-2 is vicious, man. He's a very, very good combination puncher. Shawn Porter gonna have to be careful. He can't be careful, excuse me. Because once he gets up in there and mixes it up, he has to be very careful, man, that he doesn't get caught with a couple of shots. He can go in there and look like Gamboa. In the first half of the fight, he's going to have to be a different fighter. You're going to have to be different from what people know Shawn Porter to be as a fighter. Because if not, if he comes into this fight being the same Shawn Porter, I believe that Terence Bud Crawford would have an opportunity to pick him apart early, possibly stop him. You know what I'm saying? I'll say between 8 to 10. Somebody's going to get stopped and knocked out in this fight. I really do. But as already said, I'm going to show everybody why everybody in the division is scared to face me. Share the truth. Peace.